could it be that the ego desire is often about the self, whereas the
Totally.
soul desire is often about the collective?
That
And when
is
you start thinking about, I want a big audience, you go, okay, what do you want a big audience for? And it's either one of a couple of things. It's either so that you can make money and, power and all those old concepts that are ego-based that we've had, or it's about sharing, contributing, and helping co-creatively, grow, I suppose.
Welcome to Galactic Guidance, the show that channels the wisdom of beings from higher realms. Join us as we tap into the cosmic consciousness and receive messages of clear guidance to help us navigate our spiritual evolution on planet Earth. So sit back, relax, and let's connect into the higher frequency. Every time I come into this space now, I just get, it's like a little girl going to the playground. That's how I feel oh, we're about to have ice cream. How are you feeling this week, Marcus? Cream.
I'm good. Yes, I'm feeling good. Thank you. I am feeling good. So, yes. Good.
So as with every episode, what actually happens is that you get into this state where you channel a higher dimensional being called Ameed. And it's very exciting because we get to access that wisdom and that perspective. And so how about we do that? How about we
that could be
start?
Fun. Let's just start to feel into that energy. It was big meditation I did this morning too. Lots of information and stuff came through this morning, which was really interesting. It was good. It was good. Beautiful. Sometimes those mornings, when you have trouble meditating, some mornings where you're just busy and, and I just had that morning where I was just busy. I was just like, right, I just got to let go. Just take me away. And then I just shot off, like God knows where I went and just had this really amazing experience. And just let it all go. And it just took me. Because I think sometimes there's expectations, when I've done this work for so long, there's expectations of, oh my God, it's got to show up in a certain way, or it's, maybe it doesn't show up anymore, and it's just silliness, human silliness. So,
Marcus, I'm just going to say, I've got to say that is so funny that you said that, because I had that conversation exactly with Christian yesterday. I said, I've got to let go of the expectations of meditation, because sometimes I go in and I have this like incredible like experience, and then another time I go in and I have the expectation and I don't. So I said to Christian, I now know I've just got to release that expectation, because that expectation is a block.
Totally
it's the block to connection. So and then you say the first thing you say today. Like,
obviously needed to come out, right? Needed to share that for whatever reason, right? Even as I was sharing it, I was going, this doesn't really relate to anything that we're doing here today. And then, of course, it does relate.
It relates to everything. It relates to everything. The expectation of an outcome is the ego.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. That's true. Thinking it should be a certain way or come over, be done in a certain format. Craziness, right? All right, let's let all of that go, shall we?
Let's let it all go
and just get into the process. Let's get into it. Oh, it is much joyous welcoming that we are here in this place, this moment, once more. Much of the excitement and the joy that we get to share this information with you, that we get to be in this presence, in this much momentness. For this is the time for us to connect much in the deepness, much in the deepness. We must let go of, like you talk about, much of the expectation, and just allow the process, much of the unfolding. When this happens, we are able to take you into another energetic space. We are able to share with you the dimensional aspect of your existence. In the expectation, you capture, you close down the possibility of the infiniteness that these opportunities allow us to share with you. When you do much of the plant medicine, then you let go of all these constructs that stop you from experiencing the depth of the dimensions that you have access to. When you let go of the expectation, you are able to journey, you're able to travel, and we are able to guide and lead you into the deepest wisdom, the deepest connection to the universal fabric of life.
Thank you, Ameed, for coming on. And I also want to say a big thank you for the role that you've played in my life personally, because I really feel that these sessions that we've done with Marcus recently have really assisted me and helped me in getting clear about what I need to do. And so I want to thank you for that first before I say anything else.
And we wish to give back at this to what you call the thanks for you being in this presentation, for being here and helping in the facilitation of the access to this information. We come here because we wish to assist you in the expansion of your conscious awareness of reality. We wish to be here to assist you in the shift in the frequencies, the shift in the dimensional nature of consciousness. And much is the same with many of the planets in this universe. It is much our joy that we get the opportunity to be of the mentorship, as you would understand it, of many of you, to assist in the awakening, to assist in the reunification, and to welcome you back as one of the members of the family of light.
Thank you for that, Ameed. Given that this topic started with expectations, I'm wondering if we can just dive deeper into that. So with the so many people are in this the law of attraction kind of community where they visualize what they want, they feel what they want, they believe they have what they want, and then they get what they want. That really feels very egoic to me now, that whole law of attraction where we want something else in order to be happy. Isn't that an expectation? And yet it works. So when people want external desires, I've done it in the past myself. I can continue to do it where I want something, I believe I've got it, I feel into it, and then voila, there it is. And so how can you, like, it feels like a bit of a contradiction, the law of attraction and letting go of expectations. And I know that you can desire something and then just let it go and just not be attached to it. But can you give a bit more wisdom with regards to that whole paradox?
And this is much of the conundrum that you often face when we're talking in the expansiveness of the universal construct. There's many of these conundrums that play out, and much has got to do with the conscious awareness that you have, the understanding that you have of the truth of the dimensional nature of the universe. You are here in what you would consider a training ground, what we have said once before, a boot camp of experience. This is this theme park that you are playing in is much of a training ground to assist you in the forgetting and the remembering and expansion of your consciousness. When the soul aspect comes into this reality and begins the devolution process, the forgetting process, this is done on the purpose so that you can anchor into the consciousness and become more aware than maybe you have been in the past. In this training ground, you are here to learn how to reunite once again and become a master creator. This of the law of attraction that many of you talk about is partly correct, and it's partly the training to help you become a master creator, because there is aspects of the ego that is embedded within this. This construct tends to take longer than it needs to take. There's much faster ways to have this manifestation process unfold. For in the truth of the universe, everything can happen in the instantness of the moment. It does not need to be the time span that often is experienced here in this dimension. When you understand the power of the master creator, you'll be able to manifest in the instant moment. You can let go of the process of this concept of the law of attraction. One of the first aspects as part of your training to understand how you become the master creator is to focus on the concept of the geometries. Right now, in the law of attraction concept that you speak of, this is very much the simple form of learning how to manifest. This is not an advanced concept. When you learn to let go of the ego, when you learn to let go of the expectation, you will understand that much more can manifest in a much faster and quicker process. Right now, with the expectation, you limit the possibility of what can be created, what can be manifested in front of you. And the ego aspect that plays out in this concept then limits the possibility. We are here to mention to you, to tell you, to invite you that you have got much more opportunities, that you have a much grander opportunity to be much of the biggerness, much more of the fulfilledness of reality, that you limit yourself into being. And so this concept of the law of attraction is a limited concept, and one that you are learning to move through and move in the pastness. This is an old concept of existence. When you learn to let go of the ego nature, when you learn to let go of the construct of the appearance and the manifestation of what you wish to have appear, then you can step into the infinite nature of the universe and the most expansive opportunity possible. Right now, you are limiting these possibilities, and the training, the mentorship, the invitation is to learn to be the master creator, not just the creator, not just the manifester, but a master creator, because this is the aspect of the truth of who you are. You are this aspect of the master creator. When you often speak of this concept of the godness, and you have been informed that the godness is within, this is what is the reality of that godness within, that you have the ability to be the master creator. All of your creation stories from the God aspect talks about the creation, talks about how the godness created this universe in what you consider the 7 days. This is an aspect of master creator that you all have the ability to have within you. Not necessarily to create the universe, but definitely to influence the universe. The truth of the God aspect of the creation is this is a co-creative, collaborative experience. This universe did not just appear all by itself with the one person just creating it. The universe was created with many greater souls that came together to be co-creative and collaborative in their experience. This was the expansion of the universe. This was the creation of this, one of the many multiverses that exist. Your role in this is to learn how to be the master creator, to learn the process of letting go and allowing the most infinite, most expansive reality to manifest and unfold without the limitations of what it is you wish that would be created. There is so much more that you can step into, that you can expand into, and we want you to understand this concept of the expansive nature of reality. That when you think of the thing that you wish to have to be in the creation, be in the reality, that you limit that creation by putting walls around it, that it looks like it turns up in this frame, in this construct. If you can let go of the construct, if you can let go of the aspects of the walls that contain the concept, and you can start to imagine one of the things that you wish to manifest, but not give it any barriers, not give it any walls, but allow it to expand into the fullness of itself, then you can materialize and manifest much more of what you wish to have happen, but in a much quicker and faster way. For many of you, you cannot even connect to the possibility that lies within you. You cannot even connect into the infiniteness of what you can create in your universe, in your world, in your own mind. That you are trapped in constructs that you are desperately trying to break free from. Our role here is to assist you in that expansive nature, to help you to break through some of these barriers, these walls, to be able to step into Master Creator, where you bring in the infinite nature of the universe, and that you can then receive all of the gifts that you wish to receive.
So what I'm hearing you say is that at that moment that we completely let go of all desires, then that's when we're truly being and becoming the master creator. And can you confirm that would mean that that's a fast track to fulfilling our mission on Earth? If we completely let go of all desires, will that fast track our path to fulfilling the reason that we're here?
There's much of a difference between what you understand with the desire and then the framework that gets constructed around that desire. It is possible to have the desire. This is coming from a space within you that is sparking the inspiration. It is important that you understand that if you can have the desire spark from the void space, from the deep space within, not just from the ego of wishing to have a much faster car or much bigger of the house, but rather that it is ignited from the void space, the gifted space, the universal construct space, the destiny space, if you will. You can have and connect into this, what you call desire. What we wish you not to then do is put a construct around the desire that this thing must appear in a certain format that you think is the correct format, that you allow it to manifest and materialize in the most amazing, expansive, infinite possibility that it can. This is learning to much be the master creator aspect of your universal self. Not that you don't have the desire. It's okay to have the desire. It just depends where the desire is coming from. If the desire is coming from the ego, or the desire is coming from power, or the desire is coming from the controlness. This is not a universal invitational construct. What it is about is much as sitting in the void space and allowing the inspiration to appear from the universe. Then taking this inspiration and giving it much of the passion, much of the excitement, but then also allowing it just to expand beyond what you could even much of the imagine. This is a feeling exercise. This is a much of the deeper exercise for you just to allow in the expansiveness. When you talk much about blocks and the barriers and the sabotage, this is a concept of the sabotage. When you put the walls or the barriers around a construct, you are doing what you would call the sabotageness. The sabotageness of the infinite possibility of who you are. When you feel into this, when you're constantly in the space of this expansiveness, then you will become much of the master creator and the manifest and materialize much more than your mindscape could even understand.
Yeah. So what you're saying is it's fine, absolutely fine to have our desires, because they're birthed from the void, when they're birthed from the soul, not from the ego. But we need to let go of the expectation of how that will arrive, when it will arrive, because we can't even imagine the possibilities. And so when we imagine the possibilities, we constrain them. Would that be correct?
Much of the correctness, and it is much like that often what we see is you hold on to the desire the way that you're expecting it to much of the show up, and sometimes your desires come from the ego space, and then you wonder why this is not in the showing up, and no matter how much effort and energy that you put into it, it sometimes won't show up. This is because it's not an inspired soul aspect of your journey here in this theme park. They are trying to sometimes push a earthly egotistical desire that you wish to have manifest, when really the universe wants you to step into to an aspect that's much more expansive. You are sometimes think that you wish to have the Ferrari, and what we say to you is this is not the destiny place for you. You don't need this. Maybe what will show up is a beautiful big bus that you can take many people on the journey with you, not the Ferrari where you can only fit one of the people in. What sometimes happens is you experience that maybe it's not the Ferrari, but the bus that you need. And the much of the amusement is both of these objects cost the same amount of the money. And so when you're trying to materialize something, you've got to look at much of the soul aspect of this thing you wish to materialize, and then give it the space, give it the air that it needs to then ignite itself into the reality. Uh, this is much of a concept that is very in the confusingness of people's minds that we see, that they get caught in these constructs and they wonder why things that they wish to have appear do not do in the appearingness. It is much important that you come from a very deep of the soul aspect to tune into what the soul aspect is wishing for you to experience, the expansiveness that it wishes for you to have in your reality. Then when you can get aligned with this, you can begin become the master creator and allow the deepest, most profound materialization to appear.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for bringing clarity. And I'm very happy that I don't have to release all my desires, that I can actually keep some if I know they're coming from a good place. I just got to release how it turns up and in what form and what shape. So perfect. Thank you so much, Ameed, once again for this beautiful conversation.
There's much of the pleasureness. There's much more to this whole concept of the manifestation that we wish to talk about in the next time we do of the meetingness, because there is much confusion, much disappointment, much pain in this concept of the manifestation, when in actuality the manifestation should be one of the most joyous opportunities that you have, that you can experience in this theme park. But many of the people are very much of the confused and very of the distressed with this, and find it of the difficult to have the materialization, the manifestation of the deeper desires to appear. And then they are in the struggleness of this hard construct reality in 3 dimensions. We wish to assist in the breaking free of this concept, that in the manifestation of reality you don't need any of the suffering, but we connect into, we sense that much of this. We wish to continue this conversation in the next time we come on the meeting, so that we can assist people into feeling the gentleness, feeling the softness of the expansive nature of manifestation. This is a natural process that you have embedded within you, and we wish you to get into the flow, into the rhythm, into the harmonic resonance of this concept.
I love that. And that is something that I definitely want to talk about. So let's do that. So for the next episode, let's go next level in terms of manifestation. Thank you, Ameed.
Much is the joy, much is the love. We are much looking forward to these conversations that we have in here. And this is much of an opportunity for us to be in the sharing. This is what we're here to help you do. Be in the sharingness and give you the information, the understanding that we have had for many of the years. And we wish for you to once again step into the harmonic nature of reality.
Thank you.
Oh, hello. Hi there.
Hello.
Mm.
That was awesome conversation. I love that
Was it?
conversation. It feels like Ameed's given me permission to have desires.
Oh dear.
Because
Oh dear.
of getting to the point where it was like, oh, desires are the domain of the ego. Like I just need to release the desire to have a large audience, as an example. But what Ameed was saying is, because that is a desire that I do have, and it was like, no, I need to release this desire. It's of the ego. But what Ameed's saying is that, well, if it comes from, it's part of your purpose plan, part of your mission, part of your soul, and it's not for you, it's knowing that when you speak to a lot of people, you're going to impact a lot of people, and it's going to help the awakening process, then keep that desire. Just release how it shows up, which I do. I release the way anything shows up. So
yeah, you're pretty good at that. I think that's that is interesting, because I think, could it be that the ego desire is often about the self, whereas the soul desire is often about the collective? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
You know, I think that's probably one of the differences.
It is. It is. That is.
And when you start thinking about, I want a big audience, you go, okay, what do you want a big audience for? And it's either one of a couple of things. It's either so that you can make money and, power and all those old concepts that are ego-based that we've had, or it's about sharing, contributing, and helping co-creatively, grow, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably, that I would think is a difference.
Exactly. I feel that an example would be when I went and saw Eckhart Tolle recently, just last month. Everybody gave him, as soon as he walked onto stage, like a massive clap. He just would not have it. He just would not. And you knew, and you could see that he didn't want to have it. Like, it wasn't like, thank you, but no, he was like, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
His body language was it was obvious, and we all stopped because, like, no, he doesn't like this. He doesn't want us to clap for him. That's not why he's here.
No. And I think so often we get caught in those sort of things. And every time I think we put someone above us or out there that says, you're amazing, if we're not careful at the same time, we go, well, you're amazing, I'm not. Rather than you're me, I'm you, we're the same. Just happens that you sent your message out to the world and it got picked up or whatever happened, right? And I'm still in fear about my message, or don't think I've got one, or don't even understand that I might have one. And I think that's ego both ways. If he sits there going, yes, thank you, I'm amazing, yes, that's ego. And everyone's sitting there going, oh my God, you're amazing, is almost like reverse ego.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm obviously, anyway.
It
kind of
is
interesting.
Like that's the one of the first things after doing my first plant medicine ceremony, when people would say you're amazing, is that would feel like icky. Like, it would actually feel like, oh no, I'm not. I am,
that's
because
right.
You are, and everybody is, but I'm not more amazing than you. So
that's exactly right.
And it reminds me of the conversation you've had with me before, Marcus, about when you previously did this work a number of years ago, and you were sort of in that guru kind of persona, and you said that you realized it. So how did you realize it? How did you see it?
Oh, I just realized my ego was getting carried away, and that they were getting, everyone who was following was getting carried away. And I just think I started to enjoy it too much. Do you know what I mean? Like I started to feed off the attention. And the minute I recognized that, I went, oh, this is bad. This is me trapped in it. That's why I hibernated it for a while, until I was more mature consciously to be able to. And it's an intention thing, right? So I now set up sort of this grid that doesn't allow that to happen. So I don't get that now. Of course, I get people saying thank you and blah, 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 and that's nice and that's no problem, but I don't have the same, it's not the same as was last time, It doesn't feel the same. And if it, because I'm always promoting how amazing everybody is, not just me. It's not me. Yeah. And I'm also humble about the information. I mean, it was gifted to me. I didn't come up with it. I didn't make it up. I didn't do any of that. It was gifted to me. So I don't own it necessarily. I'm a caretaker of it, custodian, and anyone I pass it on to also becomes a custodian. They don't own it. Doesn't make them any different to who they are, right? It's just, and they remember the information. So they've already had it within them. So again, that's the other thing, is to the acknowledgement that you've already got the information within you. The custodian bit and the honoring bit is to help awaken it within you so that you can go, oh yeah, I remember that stuff now. You know, we've all got that information within us. There's nothing we don't know.
Absolutely.
We've all got it within us. Anyway.
No, it was a great conversation about manifesting. And, you know, it's not about releasing desires. It's just being really clear about where is the desire coming from. Is it from ego? Because I need to feel better about myself. I need to have a good time.
Yes.
Or is it really about the collective good and the highest good for all? And then letting go as to how that appears. And I'm really excited because Ameed said there's way more to it. She wants to tell us about it next session. So way more to it than that.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Looking forward to hearing what that is. That'll be good.
Exciting. Thank you, Marcus. And thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. Yeah, and thank you everyone who's listening.
Thank you for tuning in to Galactic Guidance. We hope that the messages that you receive from the higher realms have brought you clarity, insight, and comfort. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Remember to stay connected to your own inner guidance and trust the journey ahead.